Everybody. All right, we're going to go ahead and kick off the call. Today is June the 3rd, 2022. My name is Joe Johnson, President and CEO of Senior Solutions, and thank you for plugging into our live training we do every single Friday as part of the agency. This is something that we take very seriously. Something I don't take lightly. Work really hard to make sure that I'm bringing everybody really good content every single Friday. Today I'm going to be flying solo. Michael Mahalik, a national sales director, is unavailable today. He had an appointment that got rescheduled, so he's not going to be able to make it. Also, I was trying to get a friend of mine on, a producer with our agency. Wanted her to talk a little bit about our subject today, door knocking. Unfortunately, she was not available today either. She had some doctor's appointments she had to get to, so I think maybe she'll be have an opportunity to get on maybe next week. So again, I'm going to be flying solo, but I certainly appreciate everybody that does hop on the call. And again, this is a live training call. If you happen to be watching this on YouTube as a replay, thanks for plugging in. Thanks for watching our training video. If you want access to more videos, please subscribe to our channel and also hit the notification bell so you get notified every time we produce a new video, which is pretty much every single week. Just as a real quick update, you guys know I did the live training meeting down in Florida 2 weeks ago. It's a great meeting. It was awesome getting to see everybody. One of the things that I was talking about is that we did some recording, and the guy who did our recording tells me that the video should be ready this weekend. So once I get over the MP4s, I'm going to review them, make sure there's no extra editing or anything that needs to be done, and I will get those published on our YouTube channel so everyone will have access to them. And also I'll get that on the website too, seniorsolutionsagents.com. All right, so what are we going to be talking about today? Today's topic is door knocking. Probably my favorite thing to talk about, because it's other than actually making a presentation, going out and door knocking and prospecting and meeting clients and getting to see them for the very first time, it's probably one of my favorite things to do. Okay, it wasn't always in the beginning when I first got started, and the whole idea of door knocking really scared me. I mean, I was absolutely petrified about door knocking. It was really kind of took me out of my comfort zone. But once I got the hang of it and I understood why we were doing it, it really became my primary way of prospecting and going out and seeing clients. And even today, I mean, I'll go out and run appointments, and with zero preset appointments, just going out with my clipboard and my stack of leads, plugging planning my route the night before with Road Warrior, and going out and door knocking, no preset appointments, and come home with 2 or 3 apps for 2, 3, sometimes $4 grand worth of premium. And to me, man, that is just so satisfying to be able to do that. So door knocking. A lot of you are probably thinking, Joe, why do you just keep talking about door knocking, door knocking, door knocking? I don't know, maybe because it's important. Why when you go to church, your minister or your preacher keeps talking about Jesus and Jesus and Jesus? Why? Because Jesus is going to keep you out of hell. Okay? Door knocking is going to keep you out of bankruptcy. Door knocking is the lifeblood of what we do in the final expense business, okay? And to be quite honest, if you don't like it, you should go find something else to do. If you're one of those people that just want to sit at home and, only, do preset appointments, find a different product to sell. But if you want to sell final expense and you want to be one of the top agents in the country, you got to get comfortable with door knocking. One of the things that you should probably do, if you missed it, go back and watch the video I did last week on having courage. Okay, and we incorporated some things about door knocking when it comes to courage and what it takes to be successful in door knocking. And that's one of the things it takes. It takes, you know, getting out of your comfort zone and having the courage to be able to go up and knock on someone's door because they took the time to fill out a form, whether it be direct mail, Facebook, or a digital lead. All right, so here are my tips, okay? I came up with four, let me see my list. I got 4 things, 4 tips I want to talk to you about. Tip number 1, which is, there's going to be a lot included in this, okay? So it's kind of a long tip, but do me a favor. This is where you should be taking notes, okay? Tip number 1 is learn and incorporate organizational skills. Being organized is really important when you're going to go out and do your door knocking. Because if you're not organized, it creates chaos, okay? And if you're not organized, it can create anxiety in your day. And if it creates anxiety, anxiety leads to procrastination, okay? So you don't want that. You want to go out and just do it, and you want to get to your first door knock as soon as possible because, man, once you hit the first door and you get that first person that comes out, it really kind of loosens, for me anyway, it loosens me up, kind of gets me in the game. All right, so in no particular order as far as how to be organized. One thing, I'm just going to give you the things that I do before I go out and hit the road of a day of door knocking. First thing I do is I get my phone and I just make sure that my FEX toolkit is running properly. So I'll go in and make sure for some reason I didn't get accidentally logged out or forgot my password. I want to make sure my device is working and I'm able to utilize FEX toolkit. Oh, I got somebody. I always love it when I have an agent calling me when we're supposed to be on a webinar. Always kind of cracks me up. So I check that. The other thing that I'll do, and that's right before I go out. The other thing I'll do, but the night before, is you got to make sure that you get your leads organized. Organize your leads. Let me turn that off, vibrate. Give me 1 second. There. I'll get my leads organized, the ones that I want to run, and you need to have a route planner. There's only 2 that I can really recommend. Road Warrior, number 1, download Road Warrior to your phone to do the route planning. The other one is Route 4, that's the number 4, for me. Route 4 me or Road Warrior. Those are the 2 big ones. Those are the ones that most of our agents are using. Road Warrior works really, really well. That's the one most people, so get your leads in the area that you're going to be running, get them plugged into your route planner. So that way in the morning, you're not fooling around with it. Okay. You don't want to take a stack of leads and you don't want to be zigzagging all over the county. Use a map. The other thing too is that in my car, I have like a milk crate with files in it. And I just kind of go through that and just make sure I got everything I need. Make sure I got all my apps. Because even though you may be saying, well, I don't need paper apps, I'm going to be doing electronic apps. Well, what happens if your electronic app fails? What happens if your computer crashes? You don't have any power, you don't have internet service. I want to be able to make sure that I don't have to go back and leave it to chance. I want to make sure that I can write that client that very day. So if I can't do an e-application, I'm going to make sure I can do a paper application. I'm going to show you something. I actually brought my milk crate in. I don't know if you can see this or not. Let me hold it up like this. See this? This is the milk crate with all the applications, brochures, all the paperwork that I'm going to need. Replacement forms for each carrier, the brochures, pretty much everything I'm going to need to, I'm going to make sure when I go see the client for the companies that I'm prepared to write for, that I've got everything I need. And I will never quote a client, a company, or a price that I'm not prepared to write right then and there. So in other words, if I have to do a paper app and I'm doing my FEX toolkit and some carrier, you know, I get a carrier that pops up, but I don't have the application for some reason, I'm not going to reschedule an appointment to come back. I'm going to write it with the carrier that I'm ready to go. That's why it's important to make sure that you got all the forms, all the paperwork, all your logins are correct. Make sure that with the when you're out, if you're going to do e-applications, make sure that all your passwords to the agent portal, if you're doing e-apps, make sure that all your links in your portals are all updated. Okay. Sometimes, as an example, if you have a computer problem and you have to clear your data or your cookies, it'll wipe. Sometimes it could wipe out your your saved passwords. Just make sure that that you're ready to go, and do all this stuff the night before. Don't do it in the morning, you know, unless you're going to get up like at 5:30 or something. Make sure you're out the door by 8 o'clock. You know, you should be hitting your first door knock by 9 o'clock. So if you got a 45-minute drive or an hour drive to your first door knock, make sure you're getting out of the house in a good manner so you can be at your first door no later than 9 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I'll start at 8:30. You know, normally our clients are early risers, especially if your first door knock, somebody in their, in their 70s. They're usually up pretty early. Okay, milk crate door. Oh, of course, make sure, I mean, don't go out door knocking without your ID badge. Make sure you get your ID badge. I know once, for whatever reason, I went out, didn't have my ID badge. I don't know, man. I just felt kind of awkward. Like I didn't have the same amount of confidence that I would normally have having my ID badge, because it's part of my, it's part of my routine when I'm knocking on the door. I'm always make sure my car is stock full of door tags. So make sure you've got your door tags, delivery notices. We call them door tags. Okay, make sure you got your door tags. Okay, laptop. If you're doing e-applications, laptop, tablets, make sure that they're fully charged. In addition to making sure that they're fully charged, make sure that you bring your power cord. Here's what I bring is, not only do I bring the power cord, I bring an extension cord too. Just in case I have to do an e-app out on the porch or something, or maybe where, the outlet where, if you're doing it at the kitchen table or the dining room table, you're typing up the e-application, plugs aren't working, just be prepared. That's part of being organized. And just have like a nice thin, like a 15 or 20 foot extension cord. Just have it in your car. Just keep it in your car. So if you need it, you can go out and you can plug it in, plug in your laptop, tablet, make sure that you have all those tools necessary. The other thing that's important is having all the forms. Make sure that you always are well stocked with the pre-sale folders, completely filled out with all the materials. I always make sure I have at least 10 of these in my car at all times. Now, very rarely have I ever gone out, let's say door knocking, and actually made 10 presentations, but sometimes it's happened where I've had a husband and wife and they both want a folder. Hey, do you have an extra folder? Yeah, sure. I usually have them with me in my portfolio, which is another thing you should have. Make sure, so make sure that you have your portfolio with everything. So when you're going into the house, you've got like a binder like this that's got all your paper apps. This is thick enough we could stick the tablet in here. And it's not like a big bulky, briefcase. You don't, when you're going into the house, you don't want to go in, looking like you're gonna like move in like you're a house guest. You're gonna be staying with them for 3 days. Try to go as light as possible. That's why in my portfolio, I don't have like 20 apps for each carrier. I just put a couple of apps in there, keep it thin. And as I use them, I just replace them out of my milk crate. That way I keep everything nice and thin. The other big tip about things to have in your car, keep some protein bars or granola bars and some water. When I go out for a power day of door knocking, I'm not stopping to eat, okay? I'm gonna go from 8 in the morning till, early evening, 5, 6 o'clock sometimes, and I won't eat. Well, I mean, I'll eat, but I won't stop and like go through a drive-through or something like that. I just take my like protein bars, granola bars, a good assortment of things, maybe some fruit to snack on, and just eat in between appointments, okay? Because you want to be able to get the most out of your day. I mean, ideally, when I go out to door knock, I never have less than 20 stops on my route planner. Usually try to put in 25 or 30. Normally I won't be able to hit them all, especially if I'm actually making presentations, which is a good thing. That's going to slow you down a little bit, but that's what you want. So that's tip number one. I know it's kind of a long tip, but just being organized. You can't leave it to chance. You can't leave it to, you can't just go out and wing it, okay? And I'm just telling you, when you're organized, when you go out and you're organized, it's going to give you more confidence when you're organized. And when you're new, the less carriers you have, the better. Even as a seasoned pro, when I'm going out to door knock, in my mind, I'm really thinking no more than 3 primary carriers and a backup guaranteed issue, which is usually Gerber. That's all I got on my plate. Okay, I'm not going out there with 7 or 8 different carriers. I pick my 3 that I feel most comfortable with, and I pick my 3 that I feel are going to get the job done and cover the most health impairments, and I run with those 3 and a guaranteed issue. Okay, tip number 2. Tip number 2 kind of deals with being confident. Okay, confidence comes with being prepared. Okay, confidence comes when you feel confident with the presentation, when you feel comfortable with the door knock script. That's why every day you should be getting up at some point in time, spending just 15 to 20 minutes a day drilling and practicing your door knock technique, even if it's by yourself. I know it may seem corny, but just go up to a door and just role play it by yourself, and then throw yourself, think of the certain objections that you're going to get. You should be drilling every single day until it's like muscle memory, okay? That's how I can come up with the responses that I come up with so quickly, is because I don't have to think about it. It's like a guy who, a person who studies the martial arts, kung fu or, karate or jiu-jitsu or something, after they've been doing it for so long and they've been in so many sparring matches, when somebody throws a punch, they don't even have to think about it. They know how to block it, the wax on, wax off, all that stuff. It just comes second nature. And that's, and that gives you confidence. So, but you don't get that confidence until you have to drill and drill every single day. The other tip that you can do that will help is I like listening to training in MP3s while I'm driving to my appointments. Okay, so I'll go to YouTube, I'll put on some of our training information, and I'll just listen to it again as I'm driving, or watch. Sometimes I'll, put the video there and just kind of listen, try not to watch the video while you're driving, but at least listen to it. We've got those videos online on our YouTube channel and on seniorsolutionsagents.com, where you can go in and you can listen to how to overcome the objections, okay? How to make the proper in-home presentation. Doing those things will help you. And at the end of the day, being and I said this last week, I'm going to say it again, but being a good door knocker, being able to go up to the door, is more about having courage. It's more about having the conviction in your heart that you know that you're doing the right thing. When someone fills out a form, regardless if it's an online request like this one, or if it's say direct mail, like this is direct mail, regardless, doesn't matter to me. You've got to have the conviction in your heart that you know that you're doing the right thing. If you're timid, like, oh, I don't want to bother them, or, I'm not going to door knock it because they didn't fill it out by hand, it was a digital lead. You either need to just boldly, you either need to get over it, get the confidence that regardless of how they requested the information, the client requested the information, it's your job and your duty to go and deliver the information in which they requested, or get another job, get out of the business, go do something else, go be an order taker, sell perfume at Nordstrom's or shoes, or do something else, okay? We are not order takers. Our job is to go out and these leads. Remember, these people, the way I look at it, they solicited us. We as agents, we were sitting at home minding our own business, and these people filled out a freaking form. Okay, well, they filled out the form. Now it's my job to make sure that we deliver the information in which they requested. Once I do that, I'm off the hook. If they tell me to go get lost, they're not interested, I don't care. But at least I'm off the hook. I did my job. I went out to present the information in which they requested. Okay, tip number 3. Everybody, including myself, I was this way in the beginning. Everybody's looking for the magical script that's going to get you in every house. Okay, newsflash. There is no magical script that's going to get you into every house. There are scripts. There are several of them, okay? They are all pretty similar. That's not the magic. The magic of door knocking is not the script. The magic is showing up. The magic is getting in your car, getting your butt in the seat of your car, behind the steering wheel and the windshield, and actually showing up to someone's house. That's the magic. And doing that 15, 20 times a day. That's the magical part, not the script. Okay? You guys have probably heard the saying that you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. Okay? If you show up and that person is receptive to receiving the information in which they requested, you can pretty much say anything. You can fumble over your words. They're still going to let you in the house. Okay. Now, if someone's a little bit reluctant, that's where drilling and being confident. And when you're confident at the door and you don't seem like a wimp, that's when you're going to be able to get into more houses. But that confidence comes with conviction, because when you're convicted that you know in your heart that you're doing the right thing, trust me, when you're knocking on that door and you're confident, the clients, they see that, okay? If you're like timid and you're like super scared, then that's going to show through. as well. Now there's a difference. I'll just tell you this. I'm kind of going down a rabbit hole a little bit, but there's a difference between being confident, okay? When you're doing the script, I've heard some people say that, as an example, like, you want to be confident. You never want to knock on a door and say, "Oh, I'm sorry to bother you." Okay, there's some truth behind that, but also I'm just telling you, when I knock on the doors, a lot of the times I will say, "Sorry to bother you," okay, but it's with confidence. I'm, it's how you say it. It's not what you say, but it's how you say it. And I'll do it here in just a minute. I'll kind of role play, which I've done a million times, but I'll do it again on how I do the door knock, regardless of what kind of lead it is. So the key thing that I want to be talking about is that, yes, it's important that you follow the script that we have, okay? But if you screw it up, it's not the end of the world. Again, the most important thing is actually showing up. Showing up is 90% of the job, okay? And just make sure that you're practicing and you're role playing those every single day. You know, you're practicing the door knock script, you're practicing the objections every single day. And if you do that, then it becomes really, really easy. But again, sometimes I'll say sorry to bother you, sometimes I won't. To me, it really doesn't matter. It's on how you say it. So when I knock on the door, knock, 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 I'm backing up a little bit. I'm giving that client a little bit of room, but I'll simply say, this is how my door knock script goes. Let me throw on my ID badge, because that's part of my deal. So in this particular example, my client's name is Terry, okay? I'm assuming it's a man. I don't know. I guess it depends on how it's spelled, right? This looks like it's a guy's name. So I'll knock on the door. A man comes out. I'll simply say this: "Hi, Terry. Sorry to bother you. My name's Joe Johnson. I'm the state licensed agent who oversees the area. Terry, the reason why I was stopping by," and I'll hand him the clipboard, "you had recently filled out this form requesting information about the state regulated programs to cover filing expenses. My job is simply to go over the programs, explain how they work, and help with the enrollment process. It honestly only takes a few minutes. May I come in?" That's the script, or some kind of variation of that. You know what I mean? So when I'm saying sorry to bother you, I'm saying it as being like a polite thing to say, okay? Because the reason why we say it is because it's human nature, okay? Typically, if someone says to you, "Hey, sorry to bother you," what's your human nature to respond back? "Oh, well, it's okay." Okay. Have you ever been in the grocery store and you're waiting in line and you're like, "What the F? Why is it taking so long?" And then, some 95-year-old lady in front of you, she's got one item and she can't find her credit card, or she's going to write a check or whatever, the glasses are coming on and off, and you're just like, "Oh my God." And then you get up there. What does the cashier say? "Sorry about the wait." What do you say? "Oh, it's okay." So that's why we kind of say it. It's kind of a polite thing to say, versus knocking on the door and saying, "Hey, I only need a few minutes of your time." What's the client going to say? "Well, I'm busy. I don't have a few minutes." Okay, so we're doing that to engage, to start out the conversation, and just being polite. So that's kind of the door knock script. And there's some videos online that you can watch that we do on the role play on how to effectively do the door knocking and overcome the objections. Just to cover a couple of objections real quick, and you'll get good at these. The two most common three most common, probably Well, I don't remember filling anything out. I'm not interested anymore, or what's this all about? Okay. So the what's this is, what's this about again? I have one pat standard way to handle that objection. And that is, I'll take my lead card, and it's Terry again. Terry says, well, what's this all about? Terry, here's what I can tell you. I've been doing this for a long time. Our company, we literally get hundreds, if not thousands, of these responses back every single week. Here's what I can tell you. Most people that request this information tell us that their main concern was they just want to make sure is that when they do pass away, they're not leaving their family with a financial burden. I'm assuming that was your concern as well. It only takes a few minutes to go over the programs. I can help with the enrollment process. May I come in? Okay, boom, easy enough. Person says, I'm not interested. I totally understand, Terry. I know I can appreciate how you feel. The thing about it is that my job is simply just to deliver the information in which you requested. I promise you, it only takes a couple of minutes to go over the information. I'll leave it with you. I'll answer any questions you may have, and I'll get out of your hair. Fair enough? Well, okay, boom. Maybe that works, maybe it doesn't. At least I'm gonna try. The other objection is that I don't remember filling that out. I cannot handle that the same way when someone says, what's this about? Terry, they say, I don't remember filling anything out. No problem. I totally understand. Here's what I can tell you, Terry. You probably feel the same way. Most people that request this information tell us that their main concern is they just want to make sure is that when they do pass away, they're not leaving their family with a financial burden. I'm assuming that was your concern as well. It only takes a few minutes to go over the programs. I'll explain how the programs work. I'll answer any questions you may have. Give me a couple minutes and I'll get out of your hair. Fair enough? Oh, okay. Or some variation of that. After all, I mean, they filled out the form. Where else would I get their email address, date of birth, height, weight? I mean, it's not, trust me, Terry, I appreciate, you don't remember filling out, but trust me, I don't randomly come knocking on people's door. We only go out to see the people that actually requested information. The thing about it is, you had requested the information. We just don't have any record that you have actually received the information that you requested. It only takes a few minutes. Let me explain how the programs work. I'll answer any questions you have, and I'll get out of your hair. Okay, fair enough? Okay, fair enough. Come on in. It's pretty easy pretty standard thing to kind of overcome. But the thing that will help you, and the reason why that I seem so comfortable handling those objections is because I've done it a million times, and I practice and I drill a million times. You should know this material well enough to be able to teach a class on it, okay? And all it takes is practice. It takes practice and practice and practice. All right, let's see how we're doing on time. All right, we've been rolling for about a half an hour. All right, one more tip, and then let's get off this training call. Let's, get out there, but you can still, there's plenty of time left in the day to go out and do some door knocking. Maybe you can get out this weekend. If you run across any objections, you got my phone number, give me a call. I'd be more than happy to help walk you through live while you're out door knocking, help walk you through, how to overcome objections either in the house, maybe product selection, which carrier is going to be best. Last real quick thing I just want to talk about are utilizing door tags. It's so important. I know, and here's the thing, I know there's agents out there that are door knocking that aren't using the door tags, okay? How do I know that? Because you haven't ordered any, okay? So before we order these from Vistaprint. We had them custom designed. But before, I just tell you a real quick story about how the evolution of door tags came about. So when I first started running final expense, late 2009, early 2010. And I used to do this with mortgage protection too. But what I would do is I would go to Office Depot and get the Post-it notes like in a neon color, like neon orange or yellow or whatever. And with a Sharpie, I would just write on there, I have your package. That's all I would put. I have your package. And I would put my phone number. I would stick it on their door. Okay. I used to get, people would just call me all the time. Who is this? What package do you have? You know, if I didn't pick up the phone, they'd leave me a voicemail. Okay. So then we got, I guess you can say smarter. I think leaving just the sticky note saying I have your package will work. It used to work for me. Then we got a little bit more sophisticated and we came out with delivery notices, the door tags that says important time sensitive material. You got their name, first attempt, second attempt, final attempt. There's 3 boxes. I always put on their final attempt. Sometimes it'll piss somebody off, but they'll call you. What do you mean this is the final attempt? I never received any notice before. You know, that's BS. Pretty funny, right? So another tip on leaving the delivery notices, make sure that you leave them on the front door, side door. If they have like a car port with, you know, the back door, like usually would lead if they have a kitchen in the back or some type of mudroom, I will leave one there, leave one on the front door. That's where the mailbox is. You want to leave it in the area that they're gonna see it, the door that you would think that they would most likely be entering when they get home because they weren't home. The other tip too is as I'm door knocking, kind of take notice on my leads. I'll kind of take notes as far as who I left delivery notices from. And if I get a call on my phone and I usually will, if I'm out door knocking, I won't answer my phone, especially if it's a number I don't notice or know. So I will, once it goes to voicemail, listen to the voicemail. Sometimes they'll say, oh, this is Mrs. Smith. I just got a delivery notice. I don't know what this is about. Guys, if I'm within 15 or 20 minutes of that house, man, I'm flipping a U-turn. I'm going back to that house. Okay, that's a hot prospect. That's somebody you know that they're home. Okay. The other real quick tip about doing delivery notices is if I have time, once I do my route, a lot of times what I like to do is sometimes I can do 20 door knocks, 30 door knocks, but only on 10 or 15 leads. And how do you do that? Well, how you do it is that a couple of different ways you can do it. One, if you're door knocking, a couple of different techniques on door knocking. Okay, I'll share this with you. If you got a big long list of door knocks, what a lot of agents will do is that when they do their route planner, they'll start with the furthest one away. Okay, maybe it's a 30-mile drive, maybe it's a 40-mile drive. Okay, and then they'll work their way back. Okay, if you don't have that many leads to door knock, let's say you only got 10 leads in an area that you're going to concentrate on 10 leads. Okay, then start with the first one. Okay, and what I'll do is, let's say if I only have 10 doors to door knock or in a certain area, I'll start with the one that's the closest and I'll leave delivery notices and I'll door knock those 10 doors. And then I'll go back and hit them back. So I'm door knocking them twice. Okay. And then what I'm looking for is I'm looking to see, a lot of times I'll drive by a house and I'll see on the front door that the delivery notice is missing. Okay. Maybe they ran to the store. Maybe they had a doctor's appointment. So maybe I door knocked them at 9 o'clock, but by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, they're home. So if I see that delivery notice missing, I know that they're home. I'm going to go back and I'm going to re-door knock those I'm gonna re-door knock those leads, and you will catch people at home. So there's one last real quick tip. When you're door knocking, if before I let you guys go, if you can park in the driveway, if there's room, even if there's a car parked in the driveway and there's room, I'll pull into the driveway. Always leave your car door open. As you're going up, look at the house and smile and wave and walk in a brisk manner as if you are in a hurry, okay? Just in case that client happens to be looking out, they're looking out their window. Who is this that just pulled in my driveway? You know, maybe, and all I'm going up to the door with is just my clipboard. I'm not taking the portfolio, okay? Unless I'm going to an apartment complex, that's different. Okay, because I don't want to have to go back to my car. But if it's a single family, you know, detached type house, all I'm doing is taking my clipboard up to the front door and I'm walking in a brisk manner as if I'm in a hurry. If I can't park in the driveway, maybe I have to park on, maybe there's only street parking, okay? When I park my car, I'm gonna get out, I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm obviously not gonna leave my car door open, lock my doors, and again, I'm walking to the house, waving, smiling, walking in a brisk manner to the front door. So guys, that's all the material I had planned for today on door knocking. But here's the one thing I'm just going to tell you is that door knocking your leads is the single most important thing you can do, obviously, other than making a presentation. And as old school and maybe as crude as you think door knocking is, I promise you, if you get good at it, door knocking is the one thing that will revolutionize your business, okay? It can literally change your business overnight if you get the confidence and the courage and the conviction to go out and know, again, in your heart that you're doing the right thing. You're doing the right thing for your family. You're doing the right thing for the client by delivering the information. And I'm just telling you, the reward is, yeah, you're going to make a ton of money, okay? But you're going to help a lot of people. You're going to protect a lot of lives. And man, you're going to meet the coolest people that you never would have got a chance to meet just by trying to book appointments over the phone. You're going to catch people that either their phone is disconnected, maybe they never, regardless, they never are going to answer their phone, okay? There are just some people out there that are like that. You've got, if you want to be successful, even in 2022, you got to go old school. So there's, so think of this saying, low tech, big check. Okay, first time I heard that, I thought it was, oh, that's kind of cute. It's kind of corny, but man, does it apply to door knocking. So just remember, low tech, big check. All right, guys, well, that's all we had today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you need more information, if you need my help, you know how to reach me. Give me a call. If you don't have my cell phone number, I'll give it because you stayed till the end of the video. Even if you're not part of Senior Solutions, even if you're not a contracted agent, you need some help, you need some tips, I'll give you a free 10 to 15 minute coaching session. Call me on my cell phone. It's area code 630-890-8609. All right, everybody, God bless. Have a great weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.